Not all games have production budgets like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. There are plenty of games out there that are created with smaller amounts of money, which leaves less room for quality control. But that doesn't mean they aren't fun. We are going to look at 10 broken or mediocre games that are still charming or fun in their own weird way. Yeah, we kinda like those guilty pleasures, don't you?
What in the world? Wait! People are being attacked by giant insects! Thought to have been exterminated 7 years ago, the insects actually survived!
Even if you're a fan of the Earth Defense Force series, you've got to admit that these games are messy. No matter which game in the series you play, voice lines tend to be repetitive, enemies are just a giant horde, and they even clip through each other and through buildings. Combine that with the fact that you're shooting them with rockets and you get something that becomes fun despite being such a mess. If this would have been that full AAA experience, you'd be furious. But this is EDF, so we accept its flaws. The fact that this series is awesome when playing co-op helps as well.
There's a guard outside. Eventually he's going to come check on you. And when he does...
Can you distract the guard, unlock the door?
I could...
One of the most underappreciated gems of the last generation has to be the spy role-playing game Alpha Protocol. It was a game made by Obsidian, a household name for Western RPG fans. The game really is a wonderful mess, from the story to the voice acting, but especially the gameplay. No matter whether you're sneaking around or choose to go guns blazing, Alpha Protocol always leaves room for criticism, ranging from clunky controls to overpowered weapons. But it also brings lots of interesting and fun mechanics to the table. This is one of the biggest missed chances of its generation.
I was worried when I came back something had happened to you.
Just dreaming.
Good ones, I hope.
Very.
Just as we suspected, Zach. Diane is the key to this case. I have a feeling she will lead us right to the criminal.
In times when games are all about realism, believable voice acting, and keeping the player engaged in the action, there's also Deadly Premonition. This game is so bad and weird that it's actually very good. Originally released on the previous console generation, there's also a director's cut available on PC. You play a detective who needs to solve the Red Seed murders.
Seeds. Red seeds. That tree does. And that one.
It offers a mix of adventure and horror, and it actually offers a decent story. But the conversations, shooting, and animations are terrible, which actually adds to the charm. Deadly Premonition is the Twin Peaks of video games. It's probably the best terrible game we've ever played.
I can't believe it. This is fantastic. It's really good.
In a world where simulation games were getting more and more serious, Goat Simulator broke the status quo. In this game, you play a goat who needs to cause mayhem in a town. There's really no purpose to this game. You can equip tools, lick things, and bash into everything. Goat Simulator is just stupid fun, and that's mostly because of the crazy glitches and bugs you will run into. However, this is not a 30-hour game, but more like I'm drunk and wanna have fun type of game. There's no shame in that. The Onechanbara series is quite big in Japan, but it never had a true breakthrough in the West. It's a series about bikini vampire girls slaying an undead army. That's as deep as the story goes. Gameplay is a mix between Dynasty Warriors and Devil May Cry. You can switch between characters who each have their own playstyle. The overall design of the game feels sloppy and the textures look like they were done by a 3-year-old. It just screams budget title, from the graphics to the intelligence of the enemies and the randomness of the hit detection. Yet, it's still a fun series, even if you're not interested in the fan service. If Skyrim and The Witcher are the Michelin star meals of open-world role-playing games, then Two Worlds 2 would be the hot dog you buy on a street corner. But sometimes a hot dog just tastes delicious. Two Worlds is a very slow and buggy role-playing game that's rough around the edges. You will loot, do quests, and try to upgrade your gear. However, you will also run into lots of broken quests and buggy combat along the way.
I have a mommy. Yeah! Can we get a werebeast? I want a werebeast with a hat.
Yet it provides a sense of adventure. It's fun to just wander around and discover the world. The fact that it got a major update in November last year is also a plus.
Listen to me. Master Kenneth is asking questions. We need to find it, now.
I'm so sorry!
North Korea's weapons program continues to intensify. Now surpassed 1,000 missiles. Global leaders express concern over North Korea.
There was a time we hoped that Homefront would be a new contender in the mainstream FPS space. Obviously, this didn't happen. Homefront undersold, and Homefront The Revolution was a mediocre game. That first Homefront game is a very straightforward shooter with a strong story. The AI of both your squad and enemies is poor.
I'm not taking your eyes up on your left.
That's it! Kill them all!
There are also tons of walls in the game that don't provide cover. Bullets simply clip through them. Yes, this is annoying, but in the end, Homefront offers solid gameplay with a good story. We recommend you play through it once and then delete it from your hard drive. Let's forget about the horrible Tony Hawk 5 and think back about the last Skate game that really mattered, Skate 3. This game received very solid reviews, but the more gamers got into the game, the more glitches they found. Nowadays, it's those glitches that provide the most fun in Skate 3, combined with its sometimes hilarious ragdoll physics. Many YouTubers dedicate their videos or even entire channels to it. This unintended feature of the game became so popular, EA issued a reprint of the game in 2014. Thankfully, it's also backwards compatible on Xbox One, so we can still enjoy Skate 3 and its flaws on a modern console.
The battle for survival begins.
Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 isn't necessarily a game we can't stop playing, but it's a fighting game that the competitive scene wouldn't give up for years. It's remarkable that a game with so many glitches and exploits is even used for professional gaming tournaments. Dead Body Infinite combos were banned from tournaments, but all others were fair game. Magneto's ROM loop, Sentinel's unblockable laser, Cable's air hyper viper beam, and the list goes on. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was so broken, it's kind of ridiculous.
You will.
The Fallout series is one of our favorite franchises, and we absolutely love Fallout New Vegas. When it launched in 2010, the game was full of bugs and sometimes even ugly, but always entertaining. Glitches, however, invaded every aspect of the game. Floating characters, weapon glitches, menu choices that didn't work, and the list goes on. There are even more serious problems like unexpected shutdowns and corrupted saves. Yet, the world is great, and despite all the weird mistakes in this game, it's probably our favorite game in the Fallout series. Have you ever played a broken game? Where do you draw the line? How broken can a game be before you give up and toss it aside? Let us know on social media and stay tuned for more gaming videos.
Mr. Francis Lloyd, some tea with sugar is what's best in mind. By a body that has salt. So says Mr. Stewart.